The Lumix S5IIX is making me switch from my Canon R6 Mark II for all of my YouTube content, and I kind of just want to explain why. Real quick disclaimer, Lumix did send me this camera to use and review, but they don't have any control over what I say in this video or any future videos, and also it is not mine to keep in the end. So yeah, I just want to go ahead and get that out of the way. Okay, can we just really quick just admire how pretty this camera is? The all blacked out design. I really love that they did that for the X variant of this camera. It's really cool. But that's not why I decided to switch to this camera over the R6 Mark II, which you're looking at right now. Mainly just to sum it up in one sentence, there's not a better camera bang for buck over the S5 II and then the S5IIX when it comes to the just amount of video specs that you're pulling out of this camera for the price tag. The video features in this camera are amazing and honestly sometimes a little bit overwhelming. When you're just scrolling through all the different video formats that you can record in, there's just a lot, but it can record up to 6K open gate 30 frames per second, which is nuts. I actually messed a little bit with the 6K open gate with my buddy Zach and Tyler. I'll have their stuff linked below. They're both amazing people. You should know Zach. Zach's been around for a while, but it was actually really amazing to shoot with the 6K open gate or the 2x3 instead of the 16x9, because that content that we shot for Tyler's YouTube channel is going to be potentially repurposed for vertical content, and getting that extra bit of height is amazing, as well as the width, and then you can recompose in post-production. I just really love that the S5IIX is able to record in open gate. Open gate should just be a standard on all cameras now. I don't see any reason why the R6 Mark II, for example, can't do it. Should be plenty powerful enough to do it for the price that you're paying for it, but it can't, and this can. Also, as of recording this video, I'm allowed to say that the Lumix S5IIX is going to be able to record Blackmagic RAW out as well as ProRes RAW out through like an Atomos, and then the video assist from Blackmagic. That's really amazing because essentially that means that I'm future-proofing myself. So if I want to use this for any super high-end stuff, this little tiny camera is fully capable of doing that, which is super exciting. All the footage that you've seen has been on the R6 Mark II, but I'm going to go ahead and switch it to the S5IIX so that you can see the difference right now. This is the Lumix S5IIX that you are now looking at. We are recording in Cinema 4K 422 at 10-bit. Of course, I could have done 6K open gate, but I thought I would go ahead and do 4K to match the R6 Mark II. So you can let me know down below, what do you think looks better? Previously, we were recording in C-Log 3, but now we are recording in V-Log. Again, let me know down below which one looks better to you. Another reason I find the Lumix system to be really good, and the reason I'm switching out of Canon for my YouTube stuff, is the lens design. So right here, I have a 85mm 1.8 lens, and then right here, I have an 18mm 1.8 lens, and they also have a 24 and a 35 and a 50 all at 1.8, and they're all the exact same size. So what is interesting with that is, as a person who uses a gimbal all the time, I can simply switch between, for example, my 85mm and get a really nice shot on my gimbal, and then switch it to an 18mm without having to rebalance my gimbal. I can just change the lens, turn on my gimbal, and then start recording immediately. This allows me to have a lot of flexibility when I'm recording with a gimbal, because I don't feel like I need to have a lot of extra time to change lenses, making me kind of feel locked into whatever choice I made in the beginning. I can just, again, switch it and then turn it on and go. So the lens design with the Lumix system is pretty amazing. They're not exactly the same, but they're close enough that like the RS3 Pro can turn on and the motors are plenty strong enough just to hold it fine. Now, really the thing that was holding me back from joining the Lumix system over, say, Canon or Sony has always been the autofocus. The autofocus on Lumix cameras, I'm sorry, in the past was just not it. They use contrast-based autofocus, and now with this camera and the S5 II, which came out, I believe, in January, so it's been out a little bit now, we do have phase detect autofocus, and it works really great. In fact, I'm using it right now, and if I get close or far away or whatever, it is doing the whole face tracking thing, and it'll do body tracking as well. It seems pretty dang sticky. It's not maybe quite to the caliber of Canon or Sony, but it honestly is really impressive how good it is, and then how much it's improved over its predecessor cameras, like for example, the GH6. Now, one of the things that my R6 Mark II had that I really loved is its body design. I love the way that the grip felt in my hand, and just the overall design cues that Canon has taken with their mirrorless line of cameras has been fantastic. It's one of the strongest things about owning a Canon camera. I do think that Lumix is actually putting up quite a good front when it comes to their body design. I do like the chunkier design of the S5 II. Of course, the all blacked out design is really nice, but that's just aesthetic. The grip feels really good in my opinion. Then there's a small thing where the flip screen doesn't impede on the microphone jack. So when you have some microphone plugged in like I do right now, I can turn around the flip screen completely and they don't get in the way of each other. For example, on my R6 Mark II, they do get in the way of each other and that's really annoying. So there's just all these little things that Lumix has done with the S5 II that make it feel like a very well thought out camera. Now there are tons of other things about this Lumix camera that is amazing, that is worth talking about, but this is not a full review. I'm not gonna get into the nitty gritty in this video. I will be doing a more complete video in the future, but this is just kind of like a sit down. I just wanted to talk to you guys about why I'm gonna be trying to shoot with this Lumix moving forward, and you guys will be able to see that. And if you have any thoughts or opinions, be sure to let me know down below. But another thing that just really tips the scale in favor of Lumix over, say, Canon is the price. I mean, the price of this camera is $2,200 and you're getting all these crazy features. Like I told you, Blackmagic RAW out or ProRes RAW out, 6K open gate up to 30 frames a second. You're able to get really good slow motion features. The body design is great. The IBIS is best in class. Face detect autofocus. I mean, it really is a feature complete camera. And again, at $2,200, there's just nothing close to that price range that competes with this camera. I mean, at that point, you're comparing it to maybe like an R5, which is $3,800, or maybe the A7S III, or I guess some would say maybe the FX3 could be a good example, because again, you're getting like things like shutter angle and waveforms in this camera, other things that I didn't even talk about. So $2,200, obviously that is a unbelievable price for what you're getting with this camera. I'm very impressed with that. And here's another thing. I do feel like with Lumix, I did say I was future-proofing myself because I'm able to do raw outputs, but I also feel like I'm future-proofing myself because it really feels like Lumix is listening to us, the consumers, the people that are actually using the camera, and really packing these things full of everything that we're asking for. It doesn't feel like they're skimping out of anything. And that just gives me a lot of confidence in investing in this system, in their lenses, because I do know that this camera is not necessarily their flagship camera. They're gonna come out with another S1H style camera that's going to be even more impressive. And it's also gonna have face detect autofocus, because I feel like if they didn't, that would be insane. Whereas Canon, for example, I'm just gonna dog on Canon here, they've been feeling a little stagnant, you know? They don't give us everything. It always feels like they're holding things back. And it's not like their cameras are cheap. So you're paying a lot of money and you're not getting everything that you feel like you should be for the price you're paying, whereas Lumix, you are. Anyways, guys, I'm really excited to be using the Lumix S5 IIX in all my future videos coming up. Let me know down below if you have anything that you want me to specifically do with this camera. I'll make sure to sift through those comments and hopefully come up with some cool ideas. I already have a pretty cool idea, I think. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that content if I can make it happen. It'll be a surprise, okay? It's fine. But that aside, I hope that you all have a fantastic week and I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys.